Spider, at the start of your turn, Boy Chummers, before we get started, if you enjoy our content, do us a favor and give it a like if you're on YouTube, or rate the episode if you're listening on your favorite audio platform. Those interactions do go a long way with helping us get this out to other like-minded Shadowrun individuals. We have hit our goal of 500 subscribers on YouTube, and that is all thanks to you guys. Super appreciate it. Thank you so much. But now let's shoot for 500 more. And going into our recap, last episode, there was some delving into the net or the matrix looking for information. Some things were found out. We found out that possibly one of our other deckers that has been around for the show for a long time has disappeared into the shadows. Who knows what's going on? We're gearing up for that airfield assault, and it looks like we're well on our way to dive into that. So, before we get started, a quick word from our sponsor.
Good day, citizens of Chicago. This is Oakley Wildwood, your anchor at Gold Leaf News Network, bringing you the latest developments from the heart of the UCAS. And now for the news. The Chicago containment zone is witnessing a surge in kidnappings that has left the city on edge. Travel in groups for safety, folks. A good crew could be what gives you the edge to make it to your next paycheck. The streets are witnessing a spike in vehicle thefts and carjackings, leaving everything from jackrabbits to delivery trucks as smoldering, bullet-ridden scrap heaps. Lone Star PD advises secure private parking whenever possible. But in Chicago, even the safest of places can become a battleground. On a more hopeful note, the ghoul communities of Cabrini Green are uniting, driven by a hunger for justice. Vigilantes targeting infected citizens have been escalating tensions, promising violence if they do not leave the city. Those sympathetic to the ghoul cause have offered support by providing donations and offering security, though officials assure that they seek a non-violent resolution to the conflict. There's a lot going on in 2080's Chicago. Stay informed, stay safe, and stay with us by tuning in to Bug City Blues, a Shadowrun 6th World Edition actual play podcast, wherever fine podcasts are found. Now, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Well, let's just pick up right where we left off. Spider, you are on the phone with Leap Boy. He was trying to give you some important information, and you just hear him kind of faint and hit the ground on his side. And after a few seconds, the phone automatically hangs up.
Are you there? You still there? You messing with me? I try to call him back.
Okay. Phone rings. Eventually kicks you over to voicemail, where you get a snazzy intro song that's nice and upbeat, and then it just kicks over to leave a message for the man.
All right, I'm gonna hang up the phone. Not gonna leave a message.
Okay.
That's concerning. I'm gonna send Bear a text message. To we need to talk about Leap Boy after we finish this job. And then I'm gonna go get my stuff ready.
When I get the text message, I will ask Korgath to set an appointment with Spider for after we finish the airfield stuff. Like, just set up a meeting.
Isn't that your wife?
She's doing her own thing, man. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got to keep it straight. Otherwise, I'll forget. And also, I feel like the whole team is going to have to be involved with this. If there's a problem with our decker, like, we need to actually have a meeting to decide who's going to go and how we're going to deal with it.
Okay. I'll pencil that in for you. Okay. All done. Anything else for you, boss?
Nope. Just keep an eye on things. Also, ask around about the Ravens are really banged up. see if you can like discreetly get me some more information before I deal with that whole thing. Like, I got to go deal with this airfield stuff, but like anything
Mhm.
you can find out, when we get back, assuming I survive, would be useful information. Thank you.
You got it. I'll be here hopefully when you come back with all of your limbs. Amaging, was there anything that you wanted to do while this is all going on?
Yeah, I'm making my way down to the sanctum and I'm summoning my earth elemental.
Builds from the ground. This large stone-ish earth golem.
I'm gonna pull out that rib bone, hand it over to it. Your specific instructions are to protect this with your life, and only I am allowed to lay fingers on it.
So it just takes it in its big dirt hand, and you just watch it slam that into its chest. The arms kind of form in and then regrow out the sides. And then it just stomps off, and as it's walking away, it sinks into the ground.
Well, that's all I need to do. Then I'm working on gearing up.
All right, everybody is gearing up, grabbing your usual wet work gear, I assume, for this airfield job. Are you all assembling at the garage when you're ready, or are you meeting choosing
wait
to
a
meet
minute.
someplace else?
Wait, do I not get a chance to do stuff?
Yes, you'll get a chance to do stuff. I want to know if they're coming to you because you
Oh.
never leave the garage.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
Thank you.
Yes. But in case this wasn't clear from last time, when I say I'm getting my stuff together, I'm making improvised explosives to put on the sides of things to cause distractions.
Cool. Please roll me a demolition skill. Do you want them to be like sticky bombs that you just like slap to something and like stick? Is that what we're going for?
Yeah, that I could move faster.
Okay. Give me a demolitions roll that you're putting together, and we're looking for target number 5s. They're amazing, just grabbing your usual gear, and then are you heading to the garage, or are you meeting someplace else?
I'm going to the garage. That's where the cars are at. Well, car.
There's still multiple right now.
Oh, yeah. His 2 vehicles and the battle wagon. Like that's.
It's 3. Spider, you have the results for that roll for me?
I got 3.
All right, well, they're getting all of that together. Ghost, I assume you are in the garage as usual. What are we working on?
I'm actually trying to tie in the laser designator that is used for the missile system to the mortar system.
Okay, so we're switching it.
Well, I want it to function for both, like with a toggle, basically.
Give me an electronics build repair looking for 6s. Okay, it's going to take you a little bit longer than what you were anticipating, but you will be able to successfully pull it off. Meanwhile, Spider, that does give you a little bit of extra time for your demolitions. So by the time that Ghost is done working on his electronics, you will have had enough time to put together 4 improvised explosives. And then
Sweet.
everybody else will be arriving into the garage.
All right, so are you guys all ready to go here?
Ready as I'm ever going to be.
I just racked the slide on the RoboCop gun in answer.
All right, well, how are you guys getting there?
Battle wagon.
All right, sounds good to me.
Real quick. Is Otto going with us or is he staying here?
Otto could go with you guys. He doesn't know how much help he'll be since he hasn't really gotten a lot of gun practice in. But if you want him to just hang out in the car and check the astral and be ready to drive off, he can do that.
I figure like it's probably best if he rides with me and we just stick him in the harness for the duration.
Yeah, Otto, I do like that increased reflexes spell you have, though. I would really, really like that today.
See? It all makes sense.
All right, so Otto's with me. The rest of you guys are in the wagon. All right, am I setting this thing off, or Is it a spider distraction situation? Who's going first?
Thinking of those towers is probably gonna be the most important thing, so you should probably kick this off.
It's better if Spider and I sneak.
All right, do you guys want to get in position before I pop the cherry here?
Yeah, we can try to sneak in a little ways first.
Okay, if it gets hot, just get me on the radio. I'll put out a group call. That way we're in constant comms.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Good luck, everybody. I'll see you on the other side.
The fence around the airfield, is it chain link fence?
Yes, it is.
All right, I'm gonna find a pair of bolt cutters and put it in my go bag.
All right, so we're setting out. You guys are heading out, going in separate directions a little bit. Ghost, you get into position, and then how far off are you parking the battle wagon from the airfield?
Well, I got to find a position where I'm going to be able to actually land the mortars on the target location.
That's true.
I've got to position myself wherever that place is.
The closest place to maybe inconspicuously park would be about 2 miles down the road at a rundown looking gas station.
The mortar's only got a range of a mile. We established that, so I got to get closer.
You got to get pretty close.
All right. Wherever I can get that's kind of on the outside edge of where I can accurately fire that thing into there, and I'll load up a salvo of. We'll start with 3 anti-vehicle and then 2 high-X.
Okay.
As the first salvo, and then we'll probably follow that up with 2 more incendiary just for good measure.
You're firing first, and then everybody else is going in. That's that how we're coordinating, or is Bear and Spire wanting to go in first?
We're gonna get in position, and then call in fire.
All right, so you're gonna sneak up to one of the fence sides. Is that what we're going for here?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, it's like a 10-foot fence around the outside.
Snippy,
perimeter.
snippy.
All right, roll me stealth, please. Well, it looks like you are able to stealth up to this chain link fence without any issues.
If I switch on the astral sight, can I see any ROs walking by on patrol or anything like that?
There doesn't look like there's anything close by in the vicinity, other than your normal insect activity, late night birds, that kind of thing.
All right, you're just gonna hear the disembodied voice of Amaging. All right, start cutting. Right behind your ear, Bear.
I'm used to this. I'll start snipping. Do you want me to roll or just chop, chop, chop?
No, you don't have to roll. Are you just going up the middle and then rolling back? Is that what we're going for here?
Because I'm smart and I want us to be able to get out of here in a hurry if we need to, I'm actually going to cut a triangle.
Okay.
So I can just fold it down, and then there's just an opening that we can run through later.
All right. All right, you guys have your hole in the fence. Everything's gone very quietly, very smoothly. No alarms, nothing going on, nothing in the astral.
That alone makes me absolutely terrified.
Right about now, you'll get a call from Ghost, just a private call before the mass call comes out there.
Hey, Bear, I assume you have a plan for those chemical weapons that your boys took, right?
You mean the bombs we're planting right now?
No, the gas that we used. There was some extra gas that we used on that office building. There was some leftovers. Some of your guys went in and grabbed a crate of it. I'm just assuming you had a plan. I wanted to make sure that that's not going off tonight, because we didn't talk about it. Nobody's wearing the proper gear. Not like it would matter, but I just wanted to make sure that you had a plan for that and that it didn't involve this job tonight.
Oh, that gas. Yeah, no, that gas. Definitely had a plan for that.
Okay, roger that. Just making sure, safety first. All right, calling everybody.
And then I'll hang up and I'll set out a group call so that we're all on comms.
Okay. It's still a little shaky to all of you, like you're getting still a little bit of static interference, especially as you cross your way into the airfield from the other side of the fence.
I'd like to turn on my ears and eyes, but I'm gonna ready myself to turn the ears off if I hear any mortar whistling or sonic cracks or anything like that, so I don't go deaf. But I'm gonna turn everything on to kind of try and be more aware of threats around us as we move in.
Okay. I mean, you can hear the sound of vehicles driving around the airfield. And I guess there's a strange kind of gurgling sound you can't quite place. It's the sound of moving liquid in the direction of the hangars is where you're hearing it.
Okay.
There are two large, probably fuel tankers that are near both of those hangars.
Okay. I'm going to relay that to Ghost and then relay that to Spider and tell Spider there's our target. Sounds like jet fuel.
It is just straight open ground to get to it. There's not really any place to hide. Also, Amaging, once you're on the other side of the fence, you can see more lively astral signatures. There are people moving around the airfield near the buildings that are there. There's at least 2 hangars, and then there's a large central building with a tower kind of built coming out of the middle of it. Most likely the air traffic control tower.
Do the guys look armed? The astral signatures? I'll switch off the astral sight and use my vision magnification to see.
Most of them are armed, yes.
Okay. I'll relay that all to Ghost.
All right, roger that. Let me know when you're in position and you have your charges set.
Does it look like there's any floodlights though? They're like towers or...
Not on the hangars. You have the runway lights that are going, and then the lights that are coming off of the main building. But near the hangar, it's darker. There's maybe a couple lights over the doors to get in, and I'm talking about the human-sized doors, not the hangar doors that open.
Okay. All out run, sticking to the dark parts of the grass. To the back of the hangar. So we can get to the fuel tank. It's Mission Impossible this. Let's go.
Just gonna run it the whole way. Both of you.
I mean, I'm going to beat my tiny little dwarven feet, yeah.
Okay.
But I will go ahead and pull my weapon, and since we're running, just in case, I'm going to go ahead and pop my reflex trigger, so I'm kind of running and vibrating at the same time.
Okay. Both of you give me an athletics test. Amaging, are you going to run with them, or are you just watching them book it?
I'm watching them book it. I'm following at a brisk pace. That way I'm not right with them if they get seen.
You're not directly behind them.
Or in case of landmines.
Yeah, or rocket launchers or grenades or incoming aircraft.
All right. Spider, you're booking your way there. You're able to just get past the corner when a light swings or swivels in your direction just as Bear is making it to that same corner. So he's out in the light, whereas you've just gone around the corner, and you just hear this shout, and Amaging, you'll hear it too. Halt!
I immediately redirect and run in the exact opposite direction from everyone else. I will be the diversion here.
So now you're running opposite direction. Okay. Like down the runway.
Well, I was going to dramatically pull out my pistol and just shoot the light out so we could keep going, but that's fine. That's fine, Bear. Open yourself up to the firing line. It's fine.
Totally great. So Bear runs off in another direction. Amaging. What would you like to do as he books it kind of off, just heading straight down the runway?
Has anyone else noticed?
Well, right now the shout has just gone out, halt, and then he booked it.
Well, no, I guess I'll hold my action until like other people start joining in the chase.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that good old initiative roll. So, Amaging, go ahead and take the first turn.
So what's going on right now?
All right, painting the picture for you. Here's what's happened. Spider's already on the blind side of the hangar. The spotlight swung forward, caught Bear just as he was getting to that corner. He then decides to just turn and straight sprint away. So he's kind of zigzagging back across the runway back to the grass. The light is trying to keep up with him, as you've heard somebody shout, halt, and can now hear like footsteps on pavement as they're running. People are running in that direction.
All right, so it seems like he's got this, right? He's got this. He doesn't need my help. All right, I'm gonna cast Magic Fingers on the spotlight,
Okay.
and I want the Magic Fingers to just grab the spotlight and just start spinning it in circles.
All right, it starts to not really spin in a circle, but it starts being yanked back and forth, and you can tell somebody's trying to fight it to keep it on the person running. Like it goes back and it goes away, back and away.
Yeah, that'll draw some guys off of Bear for a little bit.
Spider,
I'm on the blind side of the hangar.
you are on the blind side of the hangar.
Where is the closest fuel tank to me?
You're 15 feet away from the nearest fuel tank.
Quick glance. Do I notice any other spotlights?
It looks like all attention has been brought into the runway and the side of the airfield that you guys entered on.
Okay, I run up to the fuel tank and I'm gonna stick to. Well, how big is it? How big is it? Is it like
The
a?
fuel tank?
Yeah,
It's
is
pretty
it?
large.
Is it massive? Okay, I'm gonna stick to
Okay,
so one on each end,
got it.
and then I'm gonna keep running towards the other one because didn't Bear say he spotted two? There's two hangars,
Right.
so I'm gonna try to since we saw the lights come on,
Mm-hmm.
try to keep in the blind side and make a beeline for the other one.
Okay. All right, Bear.
How many people do I see chasing me with the thermo eyes?
At least 2 have started pursuit.
3-round burst into one of them.
So you're gonna turn. You are gonna miss. He's gonna dodge out of the way. So you go to turn, plant your feet to give you some sturdy ground, and fire off your burst shot. And maybe you're just too far away, where he dive rolls out of the way, and then both of them hit the ground and return fire, and you have a hail of bullets that goes whizzing by you on both sides. Just
I'm gonna yell Drek, and then keep moving.
yeah, you can hear them burst fire back against you. Amazing. That takes us back to you again. Aren't you special?
All right, with vision magnification, the guy that's on the can I zoom in on the guy on the spotlight? Does he have like a grenade on his rig or anything?
It doesn't look like it, but while you zoom in, roll me a quick perception test. You notice that he's not the only one on the roof. There's one guy operating and like wrestling with this spotlight as it's going back and forth, but then next to him laying down on the roof, you can see somebody looking through a scope, and there's a long barrel that is hanging off that seems to try to be tracking the direction that Bear is running.
What is he wearing right now?
I mean, you can't tell what kind of clothes he has. You could just see his face. It just looks like a regular face. He has a hat on backwards, and you see the front of the rifle.
All right, fireball.
you're gonna hit. So how would you like this to play out here? And then I'll give you the aftermath of what the fire does.
Yeah, like the moment I see that guy with the scope, I'm just smile on my face. Boom. And then fireball is gonna shoot out of nowhere right into that area.
You also know that it is a light source too, like another sudden light source now just appears and zips right to the top of the building. The fireball does hit. There is that explosion of flame that kind of coats the top of the building. You hear screams, and then your next turn, there'll be the cook-off of what happens with the fire itself. Meanwhile, Spider, making your way towards the next fuel tank, seems to be even easier, as all attention is now on a burning roof and this guy who somehow threw a fireball. They don't know how it happened, but this guy running threw a fireball at the roof. It's a mage. The word is going out all over the net.
Cool. As I'm running to the second fuel tank, I'm going to call Ghost.
Well, you're already on a mass call.
And I'm going to say, all right, let's go. Party time.
It's party time.
Party time.
Ghost, please join us by entering initiative. All right, Bear, what are you doing as you turned and started running as hail of bullets is whizzing by you and your shot went wild? And then there was a sudden bright light and an explosion on top of the building.
You know what? I'm turning on some troll thrash metal in my ears and running like Drek and pretending like that fireball was totally my fault.
All right.
Like I am obviously an enemy super soldier, and that was all me, and there's no one else here. I'm doing this all by myself to buy them time to complete the mission.
Sure. Roll me athletics then.
And I'll just blind fire over my shoulder as well.
Good job. Bullets go everywhere. Amazing. Some do whiz by your position. You can tell that they weren't coming from the guys that were coming from the airfield.
I recognize Bear's gun. I'm very upset with him right now.
It makes a very distinct sound. Everybody recognizes Bear's gun. Ghost, what would you like to do?
Over the comms, I'll just
Party poppers.
and then fire off my first salvo.
Oh, righty.
I've got bullseye spun up, so I'm laser designating the target.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully that works. And I'll also spin up my Steel Lynx combat drone
Okay.
and my surveillance drone and get both of them ready to go in.
All right. Off in the air. Amazing. From your fireball, you can see from the top of the building, every once in a while, there's like shots going off into the sky, possibly from ammunition being cooked off, and also screaming. It is your turn.
What are the rest of the guys doing that haven't been caught on fire?
The two guys that were down on the ground had laid down prone and were firing at Bear. They continued to fire, or they didn't fire this last round. They're now like training leads on him, like they're aiming.
Did work so well last time. Fireball. I didn't ask how big the room was. I cast fireball.
Okay, fireball explodes once more.
So for this one, I'm gonna like cast it in one hand and hold it above my head, kind of like a beacon light. Just kind of hold it there for a second.
Oh, like it just is appearing out of nowhere.
Get their attention, and then it's just gonna zoom down to where they're aiming down on Bear.
Okay, I have to ask you: would you like evens or odds?
I mean, I do like the odds.
So, the fireball explodes on this guy. Engulfs the area in flame. You know how you can't quite clean up everything that sinks into the ground, say chemical-wise, because it's impossible. So part of the ground just starts to spread with that fire, and it seems to intensify a little bit.
Just over the line. Hey, you might want to get off the tarmac.
Well, the only two people with turns left are Amaging and Ghost. Ghost, at the start of your turn, you're getting notifications that your mortars are hitting their targets. You guys on the ground are hearing successive explosions, just a couple seconds, one right after the other, until you hear the sound of creaking metal as well, as something is falling over somewhere else in the airfield. You can't quite tell, but you'll see, again, bright explosions in the night sky. What would you like to do now, Ghost?
Is the ECM down?
Yes, at the start of your turn, it is falling. You
Okay.
will no longer have the static crackle over your headsets.
All right.
Everything's to come in a little bit crisper and clearer now.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reload the mortar. I'm gonna get a nice spread. I'm gonna put 1 smoke, 2 Willy Pete's, and 2 Hayats into the tubes,
Okay.
and just ready them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fly both the surveillance drone and the bullseye drone and cast them to cover, and then I'm driving straight through the fence.
Right through the fence. Nothing
Yeah.
stop. That chain link fence isn't stopping the roadmaster. Amaging, what would you like to do with your final turn?
All right, paint me a picture. Paint me a very fiery picture.
Sure, I will paint you a very fiery picture. Right now, Bear is zigzagging down the tarmac into the field. 2 guys are on fire on top of the building that you know of, and the other 2 that were shooting at Bear are also on fire. The ground that they were sitting on has engulfed in flame as well, as there's chemicals or something that is soaked into the ground soil that is causing it to ignite and burn hotter than originally your fireball was. You have no idea what Spider is doing. She got around the side of the building and then disappeared. And then, as all this is happening, you've dropped both fireballs, explosions going off down towards the main complex. Off to the side, you see these bright explosions. You hear this sound of cranking, falling metal as something crashes to the ground, and suddenly the static that was kind of buzzing in your ears, that was making it hard to hear, is gone.
I'm gonna. Are you making your way in, Ghost?
Yeah, I'm inbound right now.
All right, we'll keep them occupied. Any other guys that aren't currently aflame?
That you can see? No, in your immediate vicinity.
All right, I'm gonna move farther into the complex, I guess. I'm gonna avoid tarmac.
Okay, are you going towards the main building, or are you going towards the hangars? The 2 hangars.
Probably the main building.
Okay, making your way to main building.
Yeah, I'm still keeping
Excellent.
invisibility up.
I figured.
Not messing with that right now.
All right. Finally, the turn refreshes. Everybody's combat pool is back. You may all now re-roll your initiatives. Okay. Guess whose turn is first? If you guessed Amaging, you're paying attention.
What do I see whenever I get closer into the compound?
So as you're getting closer to the main building, you hear, the sound of a car or some kind of vehicle smash through a chain link fence. As you're getting closer, weirdly, there's no one else outside.
Can I take cover in the corner of the building so Ghost doesn't run me over?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna do that, and then if anyone comes out of I'm gonna hold my turn until anyone comes out of the building.
Okay. If anybody comes out, we will revisit you. Ghost, what are you doing as you smash through the fence? You can see the burning at the end of the tarmac, and burning on top of a corner of the main complex building.
It was probably pretty smart for Amaging to huddle up against the building, because I'm going right to the door. And I'm just going to pull up. I'm going to open up the back, and I'm gonna release the hounds. So Rover's jumping out.
Rover has now entered the chat.
And then, are there any targets around here at all, or no?
Nothing that you can see. There's 2 guys that are down the way towards the hangar that looks like they're human candlesticks running around on fire.
Okay. Well, can I figure out where Bear and Spider are with the RFID tags?
Bear is running back and forth, zigzagging at the end of that tarmac, just a few meters past the 2 human candlesticks. Spider's pings every once in a while. It's blocked by the hangar buildings, and Amaging's is directly in front of you.
Well, I guess I'll just I'll pull up and just over the comms.
The cavalry's here.
I'll drop my rover drone and
Okay.
continue my orbits with my other drones. Keep them tasked to basically shoot anything that's not RFID tagged as a friendly.
Okay. Spider, what are you doing?
I'm running for the second fuel tank
Okay.
because we were told to destroy this place. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plant my last 2 charges
Okay.
on it, and then as I'm gonna start heading towards the main building,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna detonate them as I'm cool guys don't look at explosions kind of way.
Gotcha. Bear, what are you doing?
When I hear cavalry's here, I'll look over my shoulder as I'm panic running down the runway and realize that everything is burning and exploding.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm gonna calmly saunter back with the RoboCop special just kind of hanging at my side, and I'm just gonna saunter back.
All right. Amazing. The doors that Ghost's van has swung, back to face, and the doors open to release the rover drone. Those doors are going to swing open. And what would you like to do? Because you said as soon as somebody appeared.
I guess I'll cast Stun Ball on the door.
Okay. Roll away. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't, but around the corner coming through the doors is the all too familiar looking face of one of those super ghouls. As it just lets out a snarl that pierces the night, the silent night of the burning and explosions. Yeah, you can all definitely hear it as it lets out a screech. And then Amaging, it is immediately your turn again.
Fireball.
So are you just like, it steps out of the corner, or steps out of the main door, it lets out that scream, and then you just pop around the corner and blast it in the face?
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Love it.
And seeing that it is the super ghoul, I will drop invisibility as well. I'm not going to sustain that with the foci anymore.
Okay, so you just appear directly in front of it, right as you cast Fireball, directly into its face.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
I just wanted to make sure that's
It
what
can,
we're doing.
it can see me when I'm invisible, so there's no point in wasting my foci on that.
Ghost, a creature has stepped out of the building that does not have a friendly tag.
Is Amaging in the way?
He did step directly in front of it, yes.
With common sense, would I have stepped directly in front of the robo drone?
To this, well, the drone is deployed. I think he means, did you step directly in front of the open back where the special gun is located? I think you probably stepped to the side and probably blasted it, so it's like...
I would 100% not step in front of that drone, ever.
It's not the drone that you need to worry about. It's the minigun in the back of the van that you need.
Oh yeah, I do know about that too.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't step in front of either of those with common sense.
I appreciate you.
Common sense dictates that.
Oh, yeah, you think?
Well, if that's the case, I am gonna just shoot this minigun at the super ghoul.
Okay, sounds great. I rolled all 2s. Amazing, you hit this thing with a fireball in the side of the face. At the same time, you hear the sound of the minigun spin and then fire. It's very distinct. You can't mistake it for anything else.
Can I like cover my ears?
Roll your reaction. So yes, just after you throw your fireball at it, you hear the familiar sound of the minigun and you are able to cover your ears just as it fires. Spider and Bear, you can hear the sound of the minigun firing as well. It's very distinct. Spider, at the start of your turn, your makeshift bombs go off. They ignite the fuel as well, so it adds extra boom. Can you please make me a knockdown test? So, blast a little bit bigger than what you were thinking it would be. You get pushed forward a few steps, and your clothes billow about you from the shockwave. And then what would you like to do after that?
I'm gonna keep running towards the main building and say over the comm, are we done? Because I don't know what's happening. So I'm just gonna say over the open call is like I'm en route to the building. What's the status, I guess?
Bear, what would you like to do? You hear the sound of the minigun, then the large explosions.
I'm gonna inhale deeply when I hear the minigun. Requesting pickup. Someone come get me, please. And I'll keep my gun ready. If anything moves, I shoot it.
Okay. So we're all reconvening at the entrance that is now splattered with ghoul entrails. Is that what we're doing? Amazing, you're also covered in some kind of blood. It's that black-ish blood.
I'm gonna look at the dog. Can you give me a warning next time?
Yeah, sure, buddy. Next time I save your butt, I'll let you know ahead of time.
I had it handled. I'll gesture out to everything that's on fire right now.
Including the 2 hangars, which are now burning as well.
I had nothing to do with that.
What do you guys want to do? There isn't any kind of immediate threat that you can see in front of you.
I'll send the dog into the building first.
Okay. Soon as the dog gets down the hallway a little bit, like it branches off into a T section, kind of. Like the part of the wall is destroyed, which is why it is a T section now. All of the bullets that tore into the wall, if you do a little more damage, you could probably make an opening to step through the wall onto the other side, whatever's there. But it naturally L's up one side, and you can see there are people that are scrambling, and there's shouts of panic.
Are they armed?
No, the people that are running around right now, it doesn't look like anybody is armed. Some of them are wearing lab coats. Some of them are just wearing regular civilian clothes.
Then what I'll do is through the Vox on the drone on Rover, I'll just put out the standard operating procedure in an emergency.
Blue chip security, evacuate the premises immediately.
All right. You guys can hear the sounds of screams, and then suddenly an alarm starts going off. There's the flashing lights on the sides of walls. It looks like somebody has pulled the fire alarm.
I'll also get on the comms and let them know that civilians are probably going to be coming out of the building.
Whenever I see a guy, like, are they going out the front door?
Some people are running down the hallway. It's a panic inside. You can't see. I mean, if you come down that hallway and that L and look up, like, people are running in all directions.
And I'm just going to grab one of the guys in lab coats and I'm going to ask him, where's S37B9 located?
What?
Is he lying to me?
He looks distraught, confused, panicked. Somebody is interrogating him basically as he's trying to escape a burning building.
All right, mind probe.
He lets out a small shriek as you force your way into his mind.
I want to search for what was his job here? What did he do here?
He is a medical tech, and that he was prepping things at medical storage to be shipped, like bags of blood. He works in like a blood bank. He doesn't even work for the blue chip organization. None of that is in his mind. He's a member of the WHO. And his surface thoughts are, I have to get out of here. The building's on fire. It's a danger.
All right, man. I'll let him go.
Okay. He runs away from you.
Can I do a knowledge check for any information I know about the WHO?
Yeah, sure. So you've heard of the WHO before. It is generally recognized as the World Health Organization, a humanitarian organization that spans the globe, helps people in need with medical emergencies or outbreaks, research on medical cures that can be shared for places that are in need or don't have quite the medical presence that the rest of the modern world does.
Why are they here?
Who knows?
All right, well, I'm just gonna let him go and evacuate.
Okay. Are you guys gonna let the lab coat guy run out of the doors past you?
Amaging, do you want to take one and question it more traditionally?
No, I got
Okay.
everything I needed.
Question it.
I'm sorry, they work for Ghoul.
They work for the World Health Organization. They don't work for Blue Chip.
Why are they here then?
Not our problem right now.
Definitely the world's problem.
Let the world deal with it. We got a mission.
And I'm gonna send the dog deeper.
Okay.
I'm looking for like elevators, or
Yeah.
anything that says like operating room or
Yeah, give me perception as you're running about. As you run deeper into the facility, you can find an operating, like it's listed operating room or operating theater.
okay. Is it like directly ahead or is it off to the side?
No, you had to go wind down a couple hallways.
Well, then I'm just gonna run the dog through the damn door.
Okay. I mean, they're double doors. So
Oh, so they just swing?
boom, just right through. Well, you pop right into the operating theater room.
Okay. Anything in here?
It looks empty. Like there's a stage area up, like kind of amphitheater style is what it looks like for this room, which is strange. There's the main operating floor. Doesn't look, it looks pristine and clean. There is an elevator that's off to the side though.
All right, I get on the comms.
I think I found an elevator to where the subject is. Get down here, guys.
And I'll send everybody a ping on like the overlay that I have.
Okay. So they can get a roundabout map of how to get there.
Yeah, or at least the hallways that I've mapped so far.
Spider, Bear, and Amaging, are you headed that way?
Yeah.
I mean, again, as you're going deeper into the facility, like more people running, the alarms are still going off, flashing. People are running by you. Nobody seems to be interested in stopping you. The three of you can also burst through the swinging doors to the operating theater. Inside there is a rover drone, a amphitheater setup with the operating table at the bottom, lights, everything. Doesn't look like it's been used. And then there's an elevator off to the side.
Is the elevator warded?
It is not.
Okay. I'll look at Bear and Spider and Rover and watch my body. And I'm jumping into the astral and flying down.
All right, he sits down. The body goes limp as normal. You fly down the elevator shaft. Comes out into a small hallway. And then you enter into a T intersection. You go left or right. Which way you want to go?
Let's go left.
Okay. You go down left. On the left, you're going to come across 4 warded doors.
Great. All right, back down to the right hallway.
Okay. On the right, you will not encounter any warded doors, but there are, again, 4 of them to look through.
Yeah, I'll peek in.
Okay. 2 of them look to be some kind of storage. There's boxes and crates, and whatnot. And then the other 2, you get a background count in of 1.
Can I sense the background count?
Sure.
Only 2 successes on that.
Can't quite
You
place it.
won't-
It just feels really bad and icky.
Kind of familiar to what was happening in the actual like blue chip health facility.
Yeah.
Okay.
Similar.
Well, kind of have an idea what's going on here. I'll fly back up and I'm going to relay all that information to the team.
All right, that sounds good. Someone with hands might want to push the elevator button.
I'll reach out and just.
Sure. It's not a up-to-date elevator.
God, this thing definitely has a weight limit, and that rover drone's probably not going to fit it.
Yeah, all 3 of you can't go down with as cybered as Bear is. He's too heavy.
Oh, it looks like you're going down first.
Drek it. I'll go first. Yeah.
All right, going down by yourself. All right, you get down. There's a little bit of an opening. You have to open the cage, and then you only have to travel a couple meters before it branches off in a T-section. You go left or right.
I'm going to just relay the information and wait patiently for everyone else to come down behind my big ass.
You guys are told that he's made it to the at light up at. It's gonna take a few minutes, so you finally get the elevator back up.
I'll go down next.
Well, you and Spider could probably go down because you have next to no cyberware, and Spider is also not very heavily cybered.
Looks like Rover might have to stay. How much does Rover weigh?
A lot.
A lot.
I don't know that I can even control him down there anyway, given the lack of signal strength. So you guys might be on your own for this one.
Bear's waiting for you at the bottom. It's an off kind of yellow light that's down here. The hallways are clean of debris, though, so there's no boxes, hardly any dust.
Well, it's well used. Down to the left, I have some warded doors I couldn't get through. So that's probably gonna be our best bet.
There's 2 doors on the right, 2 doors on the left when you go down the hallway.
You got those ears. See what you hear on the other side.
So, from the 2 doors on the right, you're hearing a lot of like rhythmic movements or rhythmic beeps, I guess would be the best. Some kind of biomonitor readout, most likely. It's coming from those 2 doors. The weirdest thing, though, is the furthest door on the left, you can hear an old-timey radio.
I'm going to let everyone know about the biomonitor readout. And hey, I'll keep watching the hallway.
Are there windows on the doors, or are they just no? Yeah, is there placards or anything like that?
There's placards on the door, yeah.
Oh, okay, what did they say?
The 2 on the right both say subject testing area. One of them is test group A, and the other is test group B.
Was there anything in the dossier about different test groups that this guy was in? No?
Just his number.
No, you seem interested in that room. The one with the old-timey radio, what's the placard say?
Staff.
Okay.
While he's standing at the door, like, just like, I could tell he's preparing
Mm-hmm.
and be like, maybe we should look for the door that says subject group B, because he's got a B in his number.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll go with B, but I'm still casting armor on myself.
Okay, going through door B. So as you go through, there's a little bit of a hiss, like a pressure change almost, as you're going in. Is it just Amaging, or is Amaging and Spider going in? Are all 3 of you going into subject test room B? All right, so we're doing test room B. Amaging and Spider, both of you walk in, and the door will swing back closed behind you. And again, you hear that kind of pressure noise.
Is there a handle on the side, please?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
As you walk into, the room automatically turns on. Like lights just flicker on. This is a much higher tech looking room than anything else that you've seen in here so far. It's a little bit bigger than you were expecting to be down here. There are 12 hospital beds, all with some kind of biomonitor hooked up onto them. They have a plastic bubble over each bed. And from there, you're seeing things displayed on the bubble, like numbers and lines that kind of jump up and down.
On the ends of the beds, there are little designations.
On each end of the bed, there is a designation number, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start reading the numbers and see if he's there or if there's one conspicuously missing.
No, you find subject 37B. He's in bed number 11.
Does it look like the guy we're supposed to be getting?
Oh, yeah, you have the description.
Yeah, is it him?
Looks like the same person, at least from what you were told.
I will ask Amaging, does that look like a vampire to you?
No, it looks like the guy we're looking for. Is there a medical chart that I can look at?
There's a data pad.
I'll pick up the data pad and start rummaging through it, see if there's like any special transport stuff for him.
Like skipping all the way to the end of the information, it looks like he is scheduled to be shipped out of this facility sometime tomorrow. There's a specialist coming in to move him. Meanwhile, while you guys are doing that, Bear, would you like to go to the staff room? You're just going up to the staff room door. Are you going inside? You just hear the music playing. Yeah. All right. They're the vague outlines of things like you say. Remember, you have your thermo eyes turned on, so everything is vaguely cold. You get the outlines of things. Doesn't look like there's anyone inside.
I'm gonna click them off and walk up to coffee maker.
As soon as you turn your eyes back to normal, you can see sitting across from you, directly as you walked in, there is a person that is fairly pale.
Oh, excuse me, sir. You're gonna have to give me a second. It has been a rough night, and if you're gonna like eat me or drink my blood or eat my brain or my thymus or my liver or whatever, you're gonna have to give me a second. I would like to have a coffee, and I'm gonna go over to the coffee machine and pour myself a drink. And
just watch as you drink your coffee.
can I stealthily get my gun into my right hand while I'm drinking the coffee with the left?
You can try and roll stealth, yeah. Doesn't move, just watches you.
It doesn't react to like that gun in its face.
No.
All right, I just holster it. All right, let's talk.
Just stares at you blankly.
Don't make it weird, man. I'm trying to have a conversation.
You're gonna study this person a little closer. It looks like he doesn't have ears. The sides of his head are stitched closed.
Oh God, I should have brought a whiteboard.
And he just stares at you blankly. Like, even his eyes feel cold and off.
I don't like anything about this.
He doesn't say anything. He just sits calmly in the chair next to the radio that is playing the old-timey music that he clearly cannot hear.
I'd like to change the channel on the radio.
All right, you reach out to change the channel. Right, and remember, you're still on wired reflexes. This thing moves faster than what your eyes can track. As you go to turn the dial, and suddenly it's standing behind you with an icy cold hand on the back of your neck. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for listening to the entire episode. Still kind of blown away that there are so many of you out there that enjoy our content enough to keep coming back every single week. We appreciate each and every one of you, and without you, none of this would be possible. So thank you all again. If you're an audio listener, maybe consider heading on over to our YouTube and just giving us a quick subscribe. It's one little click for you. Doesn't cost you anything, but it actually does a lot for us in terms of getting our stuff pushed out in the algorithm and being able to reach other Shadowrun fans that might not know about our content yet. Conversely, if you're a YouTube watcher, why don't you head on over to Spotify or your favorite podcasting platform and leave us a 5-star review. Same thing with the likes and subscribes over on YouTube. Those 5-star reviews are how the programs know to send our stuff out because other people might like it. So it takes just a moment, doesn't cost you anything, but it really does help us out a lot. It's a real great free way for you guys to support us. Speaking of our supporters, the top dogs in this are our patrons. You guys are amazing. Everybody out there that supports us on Patreon is 100% the lifeblood of this whole thing we're doing. This does cost a little bit of money. There are some bills involved, and you guys help us to get those bills paid every single month. So thank you very, very much from the bottom of our hearts to Crimson Gecko, Bear, the Rogue 404, Drekstorm, Nicholas, Anthony, Tim, John, Tommy, Martin, Michael, Niles, Flatty1 Gaming, Manic, Sander, Winter, Jim, Austin, the Musician, Shadow Dagger, Oliver, Ancient Relic, Rende, What the Dice, Dat Booty, Techno Druid, and Connor. We appreciate your support. Couldn't do it without y'all, so thank you again. If you are interested in supporting us on Patreon, it's only $5 a month. We try to keep it as cheap as possible to make sure that, you know, it's an affordable thing that you guys can do to help support the channel that's making the content you're enjoying. It really does go a long way. It helps us pay for the Zoom subscription that we got to use to record this stuff. It pays for our licensing for the music and the sound effects that we have going on in here, and a bunch of other things that are, you know, behind the scenes inside baseball. But it really does go a long way to helping us make sure we keep those bills paid so we can keep the content coming to you. If you're interested in supporting, some of the benefits that you can get is you get early access to all of the SINless episodes before they're edited. So you get all the dice rolling and the jokes and the behind the scenes banter that we cut out to make a nice smooth story for you guys. You'll get that over on Patreon. You'll be able to field questions for when we do our Worm Talk episodes. One of those is coming up real soon. We're about to record one this Saturday. So if you want to ask the cast specific questions, whether it's about Shadowrun or anything else, you got to be a patron to do that. So half that episode will be coming out as a public release, but the other half is going to be a Patreon exclusive. So not only do you get to ask the questions, but you also get to listen to the entire episode. And there's a few other benefits like access to digital art when it drops, things like that. So when we have new stuff coming out for season 3, you'll be able to get access to that as well. Things along those lines. So go check it out on patreon.com/critical_hits. Take a look at the benefits that we offer. And if you want to support us, like I said, it's only $5 a month. So we appreciate all of you that are out there doing that for us. You guys really help us keep the lights on around here. So thank you again. Finally, a couple of podcasts you should definitely check out. You should absolutely go check out an absolute Drekstorm of a podcast. Karma the GM plays Auto here on this game, and he's got his own podcast that you would definitely enjoy if you like this one. It's pretty chaotic over there. Everything always goes wrong. It's amazing. It's a really, really good time, and you guys are going to love it. So head on over to Spotify or your favorite podcasting platform and check out an absolute Drekstorm of a podcast. In addition to that, you should absolutely also go check out What the Dice. What the Dice is a Pathfinder podcast. They've got like 150 episodes or something. They're about to wrap up season 1. And in season 2, they're doing Shadowrun in a homebrew world. I am very, very excited for it. I cannot wait. Dan the GM is a great guy, and he's a fantastic podcaster. The crew is very fun, and you should absolutely go check out What the Dice. They're a good podcast, again, on all major podcasting platforms. Head on over there, check them out. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all again, and we'll see you in the shadows, chummers. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary materials used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. is granted permission to Critical Hits to use such names, logos, artwork, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Critical Hits in any official capacity whatsoever.